Welcome to this explainer. We're breaking down a wild night of rain, rivalry, and a red-hot wild card race. Whenever the Chicago Cubs and St. Louis Cardinals clash at Busch Stadium, the stakes are absolutely sky-high. But this specific July 27th matchup, wow, it literally felt like a playoff preview, but with a brutal knockout punch attached. Okay, let's dive into this, because to really grasp the sheer magnitude of this night, we've got to talk about the momentum both teams carried onto the field. It's like two teams moving in completely opposite directions. The Cubs, they're playing their absolute best baseball since the All-Star break, boasting an impressive 8-4 record. They rolled into this four-game set looking to basically bury their oldest rivals. And on the flip side, well, the Cardinals are in a terrifying freefall, just 3-8 post-break. Yikes. Which brings us to this staggering number right here, 6.5. And look, this isn't just a stat, it's a brutal reality check. Following this game, 6.5 is exactly how many games St. Louis has fallen behind Chicago in that pivotal wildcard chase. So for the Cardinals, this wasn't just another Monday night game. No way. It was a desperate must-win scenario just to keep their October dreams from completely slipping away.
Section 1. Rain and early deficits, testing patience and shifting momentum.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is that before a single pitch was even thrown, a grueling hour and 46-minute rain delay just blanketed the stadium. Talk about a momentum killer, right? It forced both managers to completely rethink their strategies on the fly. And this atmospheric disruption created a huge contrast in the starting pitchers. Cubs southpaw David Peterson, he just gutted out the elements, pitched 5 2/3 innings. He wasn't exactly flashy, but he provided absolute stability, scattering just 3 hits and allowing only 2 earned runs for a quality start. On the other side, Cardinals left-hander Matthew Liberatore just didn't have it at all. He got pulled in the 4th inning after surrendering 8 hits and 3 earned runs.
But before Liberatore exited, the Cardinals actually drew first blood. Bottom of the 3rd inning, infielder Jose Fermin gets a hold of a pitch and just launches a solo home run into the left field bleachers, giving St. Louis an early 1-0 lead. For a fleeting moment, that rain-soaked St. Louis crowd absolutely erupted. You could feel it. It gave them this tiny glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, their team had finally shaken off that ugly post-break slump.
Section 2. The Alex Bregman breakout, from a slump to a slugfest.
Let's move to and see how this builds, because the Cubs had a secret weapon waking up in their dugout. Star third baseman Alex Bregman came into this game mired in a super rare 0-for-12 cold streak. But, as you'll see, that quiet slump was honestly just the setup for a massive comeback. Bregman was about to have a night for the ages. In the 4th inning, with the Cubs trailing, he ropes a double into the gap to tie the game. But wait, that was just the appetizer. Fast forward to the 5th, he steps up and absolutely demolishes a go-ahead, towering home run. And guess what? He still wasn't done. He caps off his night in the late innings with another double, finishing with a phenomenal 4-hit performance that just single-handedly dismantled the Cardinals' lead.
I absolutely love this quote from Bregman after the game because it really humanizes the stats. He said, "It felt good to finally see the ball well. The guys battled all night. You can really hear the pure relief from breaking that slump." That relief, combined with the team's relentless resilience, acted as the absolute engine for this victory. I mean, Bregman literally turned a 1-0 deficit into a 4-2 Cubs lead by the time he took off his batting gloves. Just incredible.
Section 3. Putting the game away. The bullpen holds, and the dagger is thrown.
Now, to their credit, the Cardinals didn't just roll over and give up. They scraped and clawed to push another run across, making it a super tight 4-3 game and putting all the pressure squarely back on Chicago's shoulders. But the Cubs were not interested in a nail-biter. Enter second baseman Nico Hoerner in the top of the 9th. Hoerner actually matched Bregman's incredible performance with 4 hits of his own, but his biggest swing, it came right here. With the game hanging in the balance at 5-3, Hoerner crushes a high-arc 2-run blast into the stands. It secures the 7-3 victory and serves as the absolute dagger, completely sucking whatever remaining energy there was right out of Busch Stadium. 14. Let that sink in. 14 is the staggering total number of hits collected by the Chicago Cubs in this single game alone. To put that into perspective, against a Cardinals bullpen that was forced to cover a massive chunk of innings early on, this perfectly illustrates how the Cubs' relentless, punishing offense simply outlasted St. Louis. The Cardinals' pitching staff, they had absolutely no answer for it.
Section 4. The rivalry's bigger picture, front office moves, and historical dominance.
So, the crucial point is, this victory represents a devastating psychological blow when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture. Look at what's happening behind the scenes for Chicago right now.
Before the game, they celebrated veteran shortstop Dansby Swanson reaching an incredible 10 years of Major League service time. That totally cements his elite legacy. But literally on that exact same day, in a shocking and cutthroat roster move, they designated veteran starter Jamison Tylon for assignment. Grouping these updates together, it shows a front office that is celebrating its core, sure, but also proving they are completely unafraid to shake things up and go all in for this playoff run.
And we can never, ever ignore the immense historical weight of this rivalry. With this win, the Cubs continue to build on their all-time series lead. They're now sitting at 1,283 wins to the Cardinals' 1,230. I mean, every single pitch between these two teams carries over a century of baggage. It's like a giant, historical tug-of-war.
But actually, scratch that. Here is a truly surprising piece of history that raises the stakes immensely for the rest of the week. Despite that all-time lead we just talked about, the Chicago Cubs have not swept a series in St. Louis since 2010. 2010. That is a massive historical drought looming over the remaining 3 games of this current matchup.
You know, momentum is a pretty fragile thing in baseball. And right now, it belongs entirely to the visitors from the north side, who are absolutely dreaming of October. Which leaves us with this final massive question to think about. Can the Cardinals desperately find a way to salvage their season in the days ahead? Or will the Cubs finally capture that elusive sweep on the road? The stage is set for Game 2, and it's for sure a matchup you won't want to miss.